weird game this was. A lot of rain. Tom
the
Brady,
rain game. Throw it out.
Rain game. Well, it was rainy early, and then it settled down a little bit, I think, weather-wise. But the rain, Mac Jones, kind of a slight overthrow off a receiver's hands for a pick six.
And that slipped out of his hand, right?
Yeah.
Got a bit away from him with the rain.
Yeah, he had a couple errant throws early. Then he settled down, made some big-time throws. And then at the end of the game, you got Jalen Hurts fumbling when the Eagles are just trying to run out the clock, gives the Patriots life, have a chance to score a game-winning touchdown with Tom Brady. And, this is what Brady did.
Tom Brady looked like he was ready to go out and play. When he was, getting hype early in the start of this whole thing, he was ready. They could have sent him out. Maybe it would have been a better option. But he looked ready to go.
But it was all for naught, man. Mac Jones throws the ball along the sideline. Kayshon Boutte does not keep his feet in bounds. Incomplete.
Twice
that happened. Just an interesting game overall because I thought Eagles offense really didn't do a whole lot. They were averaging 3 yards per play, and they were up 16-0 early on. They just – remember how the Eagles would kind of sleepwalk through the second half last year a lot?
Yeah.
They'd get up 28-0 and then the second half they'd end up winning 28-14. Right, they didn't put any points on the board. The whole game felt like those halves last year that the Eagles just kind of sleepwalking and, Jalen Hurts just kind of taking the underneath stuff, and that was it. I also think the Patriots defense played really, really well. What were your takeaways on this game?
Yeah, a lot of the same things. That Eagles offense definitely didn't look good. They got out to an early lead, like a 16-0. Mac Jones with the interception that got away from him. Zeke Elliott fumbled as well in the rain. So they're immediately up to a big lead. Now, that kind of works in two ways. Obviously, it's a great starting point. But particularly at a team like the Patriots, a lot of ball game left. There's a lot of time to pull that kind of deficit back. And they did. They started chipping away at it. As soon as he'd made the mistakes and they got into the hole, Mac Jones started balling out and delivering all kinds of great passes. He had 4, I think, big-time throws in this game. Now, made some mistakes as well, but he delivered some absolute strikes. This looked a lot more like rookie year Mac Jones, where the good was really good. And that Eagles offense wasn't doing anything. They made Rashad Penny, right, a healthy scratch going into this game. And that was look at the jokes about 7 yards per carry. I guess everyone looks a bit stupid now. So Kenneth Gainwell, as everyone actually did predict, was their primary running back. Jalen Hurts obviously did his part of running. DeAndre Swift barely featured, and Boston Scott was the other guy. Now, this is one of the few games where the Eagles' offensive line did not just lay waste to everything in front of it in the run game. And I kind of feel like Rashad Penny might have gotten a little bit more joy if he'd been carrying the ball rather than the players they had. So I don't think that helped. And if that may be reassessed going forward. I'm not sure you want Rashad Penny of all those running backs to be the guy that isn't suited up in case a game like this happens. But yeah, that offense did not do an awful lot. What a hit, by the way, by Jabril Peppers to force the fumble on Jalen Hurts late in the game.
That was when it was, a 2-score game, right? And New England comes back, and they have a quick touchdown to make it a 1-score game.
Yeah, so they're 5 down now with 4 minutes left.
Eagles are driving down, and then the Eagles, we would get into the decision-making and everything. The Eagles have a 4th and 2 to seal the deal, right? They can either go coffin corner punt or go for it 4th and 2. Pass falls incomplete, and the Patriots have they have their final opportunity to, make the comeback, and things fall short there. I thought the Patriots were very good up front. The defense was sound. Christian Barmore played a really good game, the usual just fundamentally sound play up front by New England and making life difficult for the Eagles. So I think it was both. Patriots defense was good. Eagles offense it just looked like they were playing with a big lead and playing conservative and not really taking their chances. From a Mac Jones perspective, he's a tough one to figure out because I think he does a lot of impressive things. You mentioned it looks like rookie year Mac Jones. You know how Mac Jones has this idea that his arm's not great, velocity-wise. I think we expected this guy that's going to be low big-time throws, take care of it, but he has these weird games like this one where it's 4 big-time throws that are legit. Tight red zone throws, the post for a touchdown. Very nice ball location. but also puts the ball in harm's way more than he should in some of these games. And then Tony Romo was hinting at there's all these passes where he threw the ball like short of the sticks and Hunter Henry was going to catch and go upfield and Hunter Henry drops it. And Romo's suggesting the ball's got to get there a little bit quicker. And I know all we're describing is arm strength, but like I feel like my takeaway a lot of times with Mac Jones is he just doesn't have the RPMs on the ball to just get it there just a tick sooner. And even the Butte play where he should have kept the ball, his feet in bounds, and it's like it's a good throw. The accuracy's good. Is he losing just a few RPMs? Like he's taking a pass that should have been a pretty easy completion and turning it into one that's along the sideline. Is he just not getting it there quickly enough, velocity-wise? That's kind of still my question, I think, with Mac Jones.
I mean, yeah, I that last play I think was unlucky for him. A 4th and 11, he puts a ball along the sideline that should have been caught, and Butte manages to not get his second foot in, which is the second time in the game that he managed to do that and kind of screw Mac Jones out of a couple completions. So I felt unfortunate for him that maybe, I mean, this is the reality of having not the Justin Herbert type of arm, but I thought that was fine. Like that got to where it needed to be.
I don't know if that's the best example. I'm just saying overall. I mean, he floated one up to Darius Slay. That's not a velocity thing. That's just like you put too much air on a deep ball. Darius Slay should have had another interception, another one earlier in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I just think he deserved that completion, which would have made the game really interesting.
The other thing of note here, the Patriots' offensive line took a lot of heat this offseason. I thought overall they were fine, other than trying to block Jalen Carter. I mean, they did a pretty decent job against Hassan Reddick and a Josh Sweat and Fletcher Cox. And then Jalen Carter just looked unblockable at times. You didn't see a sack. I don't even know if he had a hit. We got one sack and a hit, and no hits. But he was winning quickly, Jalen Carter. He is going to be an absolute problem, and especially if the rest of the guys kind of underperformed up front, I thought, for Philadelphia relative to expectations. But Carter played 40 snaps, 34 rushing the passer. They're using him to just rush. And he's got a 92 grade.
He had a pass rush win rate of 25%, which is ridiculous.
That is stupid good.
At any position.
Yes. Jalen Carter might already be a top 3 or 4 pass rushing defensive tackle.
And by the way, that workload was right up there. I mean, one of the questions was how much are you actually going to get him on the field? How much is he going to? Because remember, that Georgia defensive line, everybody rotates. Nobody plays more than, a few hundred snaps. One of the big questions is, well, now that guy's got to come in and be Javon Hargrave. What he was week 1. Like, he was Javon Hargrave and maybe then some.
Yeah. Eagles had a weird red zone play early on where nobody blocked anybody in empty. Jalen Hurts takes a sack on third down. This is what I'm saying. Like the Eagles settling for field goals on they just didn't look sharp offensively at all. Jordan Davis had some really nice plays up front for the Eagles. And again, New England's defense I think deserves a ton of credit. And I thought Mac Jones played a good game overall, especially given some of the injuries they have on the offensive side of the ball. They're just missing that. Look, the games where Tom Brady used to work some magic and make the comebacks, I feel like Mac Jones, takes a sack when he shouldn't. Like there's just a few of those plays missing when they need them, and see how that ends up playing going forward for New England. But Eagles have to turn around here and come back Thursday night to play the Vikings. But they moved to 1-0, the 25-20 victory.